So today, lads, the Indiana Fever actually have a chance of pulling off a major upset in the standings and potentially getting themselves into that 6th seed spot, because the Minnesota Lynx don't have Nafisa Collier tonight in what is another super duper important game for the Fever. If, like me, you think that the Aces might be the toughest of those three teams, I would, like, of the teams, I think we have a puncher's chance against the Aces. I think we beat the Dream with Caitlin Clark. I think without Caitlin Clark, we get swept. Like, I don't think there's a hope in hell that the Indiana Fever beat the Atlanta Dream without Caitlin Clark. However, I think they would beat them with Caitlin, but Caitlin's not playing. So, for me, it's a funny one. Like, I think the way the teams match up, I think the Fever actually might have equally as good a chance of beating the Aces without Caitlin as with Caitlin. I think they beat the Mercury with Caitlin. I think they definitely beat the Dream with Caitlin. But the Mercury's a close one with Caitlin, and I don't think they stand a chance against either of those teams without Caitlin. And then the Aces, maybe they go and win. Maybe they win. However, the Aces are the informed team in the WNBA. The Aces are the team that nobody wants to play. And the Fever are now in a situation where they win this game, they are 24-20 on the season. And 24-20 on the season might be enough to get them to 6th seed. Because if you're looking at just the way things are, they will be 24-20, and the Valks need to win another game. The Valks play, did the Valks play Storm? I think the Valks might play the Storm. Yeah, they played a Storm in a must-win game for the Storm and a slightly less must-win game for the Valks. And then they go and play the Minnesota Lynx in their last game of the season. So, like, there is a non-zero chance. I don't know why I said a must-win game for the Storm, because the Storm can get to 23-21. If the Valks lose twice, they're 23-21. Like, the Valks could drop to 8. The Valks could actually drop to 8. Like, if the Valks don't win tonight, they're not probably. There is a good chance that they end up as the 8th seed. And the Valks ending up as the 8th seed kind of stops their whole momentum coming into the playoffs. Now, a lot of people are calling the Valks like their dark horse team. And the Valks, the way people are talking about the Valks kind of reminds me of the way people are talking about the Fever. The way people were saying, once Indy can get them back to Indiana. All it is one game, they just need to get hot once away and then bring them back to Indiana, and the Fever are going to beat the Sun. And I think I was of that opinion. And that's the thing with Golden State in Golden State, is that the logic is if they can steal one, they're bringing you back to Golden State for a playoff atmosphere, and they're the team that's at the big advantage. And they're also in a situation where they're so inexperienced in the playoffs. Like, they have next, unless when Ceci Zandalicini comes back, yes, she played in the finals last year. But if you look at their starting five, Veronica Burton, bench player, albeit played in the semifinals, bench player. Not even end the bench, didn't play much. You've got Kate Martin, didn't get burned in the playoffs last year at all, doesn't start. Carla Late doesn't start, but is a rookie. Ileana Rupert, she won a championship, ended the bench, but won a championship. Who else is there? There's Janelle Salon, rookie season. Like, a lot of rookies. They have a lot of rookies. They have a lot of young players. They have a lot, like, Temmie's not really played much in the playoffs. They don't have much, like, experience on that roster. Tiffany Hayes, in fairness, is a lot of experience. But the thing with Tiffany Hayes is, when was the last time Tiffany Hayes is really healthy, and do you trust Tiffany Hayes to last the full playoffs? But for Indiana, if Golden State slip up, like, if we beat the Lynx and the Lynx just say, screw it, we're not losing 2 in a row going into the playoffs, and they just say, okay, we are going to beat the Valkyries in the last game of the season, we can get to 6. Getting to 6 is huge, because, again, you're going to be facing one of the Mercury or the Dream. Look, do I think the Fever have any chance getting out the first round? I think they have a very slight chance. I think they have an extremely slight chance of getting out the first round. But that's all I'm going to say. It's a puncher's chance. It's an extremely slight chance. However, like, they're with it being a slight chance, they just don't have. I just don't know if they have the personnel. I just don't know. I just don't know if it's going to be better to face the weaker team or the team that has the biggest weakness in Alyssa Smith. Like, for me, that's kind of the one reason I give us a chance against the Fever, is that we can exploit Alyssa Smith. And Steph White is very good at exploiting teams in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, I think we're just clutching at straws right here. The best case scenario would have been for the Indiana Fever to be where the Sparks are. The best case scenario would have been that the Indiana Fever fought hard, finished 9th and got a lottery pick. Like, considering everything, that is the best case scenario for the Indiana Fever, is that they put up a great fight. They were good. Kelsey Mitchell gets all WNBA, but they just missed their playoffs. They just about missed the playoffs. And yeah, that's, for me anyway, that's kind of what this is all about. Like, I think a lot of people are talking about situations that the Fever can do this and they can do that, and puts them in this situation, this puts them at this seed in the playoffs. And I think there's so many permutations of the bracket that there's a chance that if they win this game and if the Valks, I don't know, somehow slide to try avoid another team, that you end up facing that team anyway. Like, there's a chance that the Fever are like, we need to win this game no matter what, instead of just resting players like they would have a year ago. Like, a year ago, they rested players because their seeding was set. They might just go, we're going to win this game no matter what, and then do that to try dodge the Aces and still face the Aces. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I don't see the Aces losing their last 2 games. One is against the Sparks in a dead rubber. The other is against the Chicago Sky. Well, a dead rubber for the Sparks. And the other is against the Chicago Sky, who are not going to beat anybody for the rest of the year. The Chicago Sky, the Dallas Wings, and the Chicago Sky and the Wings, every other team can win a game, but the Chicago Sky and the Dallas Wings are not winning a game for the rest of the year. They are not winning a game for the rest of the year, and it's a funny though. I want to congratulate Angel Reese for winning more games this season than Caitlin Clark. Like, it's a close one. Angel Reese did win 1, and I also want to congratulate Paige Bueckers for tying Caitlin Clark on wins this season. Exactly 8 for Paige Bueckers. But yeah, look, I don't see this being the biggest deal in the world. Like, I don't think we got much of a chance anyway, for being honest. I really don't think we have much of a chance. And my whole thing is, can I stay up for this game? That's going to be the toughest thing, is, can I figure out a way of staying up for this game and talking about it? Because for me, it's getting harder and harder to not fall asleep during Indiana Fever games, because watching Steph White basketball is like watching paint dry.